Hello, hello, and now we will see if this new system works. It does not. It does not. At least I don't think it does. Does that say... Is protocol level 11? It does not work, I think. Actually, it might work, it just needs next stream. I am using a new thing. I'm cooking. Once again. Yesterday, I was back in the kitchen. I rebuilt the way the check-in system was done. For shenanigans. There might be double XP weekends coming up, but we'll see, we'll see. Yesterday I was building a bunch of things for the stream. We'll see. We'll see. We do still have the glitch in the Matrix, as you can see, though. The lighting does match this time around, because it's actually relatively sunny right now. But we are still dealing with the glitch in the Matrix. I still haven't received a call from the bozos. So... when will we finally figure out the Koroto Shack 2.0 situation is anyone's guess. Unfortunately. Okay. I have all my stuff. Do I have to buy energy drinks to access double XP weekends, I assume you mean? We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I am rebuilding a bunch of things, though. I literally built, like, this whole thing. I mean, most of it I didn't build. Like, this is yoinked off of Nutty, right? Like, the whole chat, this is straight Nutty. I just stole his thing. He gives it away for free, but I still stole it. So it's a true story. I just rebuilt it for my thing. And everything here. I literally did this, like, a few months ago. I'm rebuilding everything again. It's gonna be glorious. It's gonna be glorious. Matrix isn't broken in your room anymore? Nah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We just have to wait until we have that time of day when the individual ray of light, the God particle, hits the lens again, and it looks like my room is on fire. I looked at the VOD for that. It's actually hilarious. I don't know if I hadn't noticed it before and it always happened, but bro, it literally, a single particle of light hits the lens, and it looks like I am sitting in smoke. It is kind of glorious. Okay, let me. Where's this? There it is. There are a few things I wanted to yap about. I saw a very interesting report. I hope you're excited about reading. We will be reading together. We'll see if I get destroyed by facts and logic. I hope I am. I am eagerly waiting, hoping even, that today I will be destroyed by facts and logic. Before we do that, though, I wanted to show y'all something real funny. Whoops. I don't know how many of you are caught up with, like, House of the Dragon and everything, and how many of you even know about this. But one of the things with House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones and A Song of Ice and Fire and everything, right? How do I even search for this? Game of Thrones Dragon Sigil. So, one of the many controversies in the whole drama, you can even see it here. There's one here, and then there's the other, right? So, there is a long-standing dispute between George R. R. Martin, the original author of A Song of Ice and Fire, right? Game of Thrones. And then eventually what the show became. And one of these points is about what dragons are in the world of A Song of Ice and Fire versus what they are in Tolkien, right? George has explained this whole idea of, like, dragons hidden in his world have two legs and everything. There's a whole long debate, right? Problem is, years ago, either because somebody just wanted to make something that looks kind of cool, I don't honestly know the original lore behind why they gave them 4 legs. I don't even know what the original lore is, but point is, we had a situation where instead of the 2 legs that it's supposed to be, the sigil got 4 legs. And this has been a back and forth in the community. People often take this to be, like, as a slight at George R. R. Martin, which it obviously isn't. Like, he's just a person in the prop department wanting to make something cool and messed up, right? But this became a point in the canon. So for years, whenever you were talking about the Game of Thrones show, the sigil was technically wrong. Now we have a secret third contender. We have a dragon with 3 legs. I love this. I don't know how this even happened. I mean, maybe you could argue that there is another leg behind this one. Like, maybe, right? It does look like there's a nail maybe here. But I don't know, bro. I saw Glidus was crashing out about this. Because this has been a thing for years, like the whole sigil debate. Because George, I think, even has a blog post on it. 4 legs looks better in the sigil if 2 is more lore accurate than it should be this. Honestly, I will go with whatever George wants. George is from what I understand, George is always like taking it as half a joke. You know, like I don't think George has ever been like super serious about the fact that it's wrong. Like he explained his logic behind why these are different from like Tolkien's dragons and everything, right? Because people obviously compared it to like Smaug and everything. We could look up the thing. George R.R. Martin on dragon legs. Martin argues that dragon wings would have likely evolved from its 4 legs, stating 4-legged dragons exist only in heraldry. No animal that has ever lived on Earth has 6 limbs. Birds have 2 legs and 2 wings. Bats the same. Ditto. Pteranod. I've got no... Oh, it's a dinosaur. I don't know how you pronounce this. I'm not even trying. And other flying dinosaurs. He then presents correct 2-legged version of the emblem next to its incorrect 4-legged version, adding, why would any Westerosi ever put 4 legs on a dragon when they could just look at the real thing and see their limbs? The post concludes with the HBO damning statements, fantasy needs to be grounded. It's simply not a license to do anything you like. I think one of the original points he was talking about this, it wasn't a damning statement. I don't think so. The show's got it half right, both of them. Game of Thrones gave us the correct 2-legged sigils for the first 4 seasons, most of the 5th, but when Dany's fleet hove into view, all the sales showed 4-legged dragons. Someone got sloppy, I guess, or someone opened a book on heraldry and read just enough to muck it all up. So yeah, I think like he's always been kind of half serious about this, but whatever the case, the fact that we now have one with 3 legs is kind of hilarious to me. I do find this kind of funny. Only with Game of Thrones we could have a situation where there exists 3 different flags, and only one of them has ever been accurate. What walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 during the day, and 3 on the evening? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. But we got 3 legs. I wonder how many of these there are. Very, very curious to see how many of these are. Glide is crashing out about this will never not be funny though. George talking about insignificant things inside of writing his books. What a surprise. I mean, he does have a point though. Like, he does have a point. Because the world of A Song of Ice and Fire, it does do many things that are like based on evolution and stuff, right? Like, he does have a point that it's not just straight fantasy. Now, there is a bunch of implications that like the dragons were created, right? Which, I mean, could point to it being some kind of weird thing that doesn't necessarily respect biology. But we don't know. We don't know. We crawl on all 4s as babies, walk upright later on, and use a cane when we're old. I would never use a cane. I would actually. I think canes have so much aura. Canes have so much aura. I want a cane right now, to be honest with you. If I didn't get weird looks, bro, I'd be rocking a cane right now. I love a good cane. It needs to look cool, though. We had a, I don't know what you would call, but there was a guy, we knew that walked around with a cane. It had like a golden, what was the head? It was, I'm now only thinking of dragons. It wasn't a dragon head, but it was something cool. It was like the head of something, and it was golden. Obviously, it was not gold, but it was like gilded, I guess. It was so cool. Flags do change throughout history and regime changes, but that generally requires a longer timeline. Yeah, I mean, for George, it's literally a matter of nobody would ever make it with 4 legs, because there's no reason to. Like, you would never depict a chicken with 4 legs, right? That's never gonna happen. I don't think anybody has ever depicted a chicken with 4 legs. I think that's what he's getting at. How many legs does the Wales dragon have? Wales flag. It's 2, right? No, it's 4. It is actually 4. Why the hell did I think it was 2? Of course it's 4. Man, I'm stupid. Wales has like one of the cool... I don't know the Wales flag lore. I doubt the Wales flag lore clears the Latvian flag lore. I've told this before. The Latvian flag... Let me make sure I don't get doxxed when I Google Latvia. The Latvian flag, the lore for this is, again, I don't know if this was just something that was like once upon a time a thing, or whether or not it's actually like a historical tale. But the lore for our flag is that during the War for Independence, a soldier was shot and he bled out on the thing, right? So both of the sides are his blood, and the white thing is where he was lying. It has so much aura, bro. Our flag is literally bathed in blood. This is what it means to have aura. A dragon's cool, but it's not this. We have similar lore for the Austrian flag. I mean, yeah, the Austrian flag is always the meme. Like, if somebody does their colors wrong, nobody knows whether we are Austria or Latvia. It is a very goofy situation. Even though, like, if you know the flags, they are quite different. You know? I can see the similarity if somebody messes up the colors, but they are quite different. Well, what is the Wales flag lore? Why does the flag of Wales have a dragon? It's already the top search term. The legend of the Welsh Draig Goch, I guess. The story begins with, bro, this is actually Game of Thrones. As recounted in Joffrey of Monmouth. A young boy believed to be Merlin, the magician from the legend of King Arthur, told this. The reason his castle would not stand is because the site was located directly above an underground lake where 2 dragons lay sleeping. Upon digging the ground, men found the lake as well as 2 dragons, one red and one white, who promptly woke from their long sleep and began a ferocious battle. Although the white dragon was dominant for most of the scuffle, the red dragon ultimately won the fight. For the what? The Red Dragon represented his people, native Britons, in their upcoming battle against the invading Saxon armies. That's crazy. That's crazy. Do you think Weevil will appear next chapter? I somehow doubt it. I somehow severely doubt it. In fact, if I had to bet on it, I would very much bet on no. I would bet on nothing ever happens. I would fairly confidently say I do not expect Weevil to appear. I know it may be shocking, it may be a very brave opinion. But I would be fairly confident in saying that. If he does appear, it would be the most jarring switch-up Oda has ever done, I think. Every flag with red color has the same lore? No. Ours is the best. Ours has the most aura. It's undeniable. Imagine a dude getting shot and the whole thing is bathed in blood. Now that's aura. That's aura. I also did see this. This is very, very interesting. I think this is something people often don't even think about. Netflix, Paramount, Sony, and Versant have all had early talks about potentially buying Letterboxd, right? This has always been very, very interesting. What the hell is this article about? Fast pivot to podcasters, digital creators, the streamer that for sure. One of the interesting things about platforms like Letterboxd, right? And the same thing applies to TV time, which ironically enough, I don't know why nobody is trying to buy it up. I think TV time is the biggest tracking platform there is. It's shutting down, I think, on the 15th. One of the benefits of having these platforms is that it tends to carry a lot of stats on piracy and other third-party means of watching things. So owning it under the umbrella of a large publisher actually provides a lot of very, very valuable data that you can't otherwise get. So this is a very, very interesting business move. I wouldn't think, even if like Netflix, Paramount, whoever acquired these, I don't think they would even mess with it. I think this would literally be a data gathering device. Because with TV time, if you look at TV time numbers and then like compare them to everything else, like piracy and everything, there are lots and lots and lots of data points you can extract from that. So I mean, we'll see. I am amazed TV time has not been acquired. If they actually shut down on the 15th, then I don't know like what they're thinking. Because TV time is a gold mine. I know people are now making letterboxes. I think that's currently like the most common thing that is also easy to share, right? I don't have a letterbox. I've already talked about this. I have a self-hosted solution. That's what I have. It's the most goated thing. This thing, self-hosted, tracking for everything. Everything. Want to track something? It's in there. Even has board games. It's not showing up here. It has board games. Track everything. Locally. Never taken away from you. Nobody could ever do a single thing about this right here. Everything. The Latvian flag lore was pretty metal. It is. It is. This thing's awesome. I kind of hope TV time is acquired, though, because I think TV time was kind of goated. Even if I eventually drop using it. Man, I love self-hosting things. I love self-hosting things. I think everybody should get used to self-hosting things, like unironically, though. I think a lot of these services are going to be, you know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. What the hell is that? YouTube is giving me some kind of pop-up again. I'm sure it's nothing. Sure it's nothing. Okay, should we get to the fun time? I wanted to look at this. So this is from What's on Netflix, right? I think this is the most reliable, I almost said narrator, reporting that we have on everything Netflix pretty much, right? So they very much live up to the name. Is Netflix facing a major Season 2 crisis? Inside the viewership drops for Avatar The Last Airbender and Beef, right? The headline of this is Avatar. I already took a peek at this because I thought this was going to be very interesting. This is more so about all TV shows having a weird situation with the second season, right? We have talked about this ad nauseum. The simple advice is that waiting 4 years between seasons and then dropping the whole thing all at once doesn't really draw up a lot of hype. You know, like you can have all the marketing in the world, but if you consume the whole thing in one day and then the next thing comes out 4 years later, kind of struggle to care, right? So, Friedrich Durand comes with data. So hopefully, maybe we finally can land on a solution and I'll get destroyed by facts and logic. Does Netflix have a sophomore season problem? Following a major Bloomberg report, ayo, Netflix viewers are abandoning shows after what? I guess we're not reading that one. Alongside my own coverage at Netflix and Schiefers. Here on What's on Netflix, the trend of season-over-season viewerships drops certainly looks like a growing crisis. This narrative was only fueled by frankly disappointing second season numbers for former hits like Beef, The Four Seasons, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and A Man on the Inside. But do these figures tell the whole story, and is this strictly a Netflix issue? Furthermore, do the solutions proposed by a chorus of armchair experts regarding weekly episodes on social media actually hold water? Here is our massive deep dive. I am one of these. Massive deep dive on the issue and why there might be more to the story. I can already say there is more to the story before we even get to this story, because whatever we do, we will never have the full picture, because we can't look into the alternate timeline where, with media and TV shows and anything that exists on the internet, there are so many unseen variables that we literally can't even begin to speculate about. The number of interactions that happen, like, in between a whole network of community, basically, right? So, say episodes come out weekly, right? That alone might not impact how you watch a show. However, you might see our Reddit post every single week, and on the 7th week, our Reddit post might be titled something interesting, and you read into it, and then you watch the show, right? So it's not necessarily directly the fact that it is releasing weekly, and not directly the fact that you are still watching it or not watching it. It is a completely, like, third order effect thing from the fact that it might be a different release structure, and vice versa. The fact that something drops all at the same time might be a whole selling point that maybe there's like a watch party or something, right? So whatever we look at all the data, we still won't know. But let's see. This trend has led analysts and commentators to ask, why are Netflix subscribers abandoning shows after the first season? The truth, at least when it comes to season 2, is that subscribers are abandoning them during the first season, a reality that Netflix's own viewership numbers often obfuscate. The drop-off isn't solely about binge release models, long delays between seasons, or a lack of engagement. Instead, it is largely a byproduct of Netflix's immense scale and its specific reporting methods. Yeah, so this is another thing. Netflix reports everybody does this. Whenever you see stats like monthly active users, stop. You're trying to hide something. And when different reporting has different like ways of giving you numbers, it's also like the same thing. If you were super confident and you wanted to be super transparent, you would give literally the most raw numbers possible. You don't do this because it looks bad. So you give like watch minutes, which means nothing. You know, like, you start comparing watch minutes, like, at a longer show, shorter show, there is so much information that needs to be, like, dug into to even understand what this figure means, that it's easy to obfuscate what it is. So this is very, very true. Should Netflix be listening to the hordes and adopting weekly releases? They already did this with Stranger Things. Faster schedules, or does Netflix know what it's doing? Let's dive in. Every week since June 2021, Netflix is steadily sharing actual viewership numbers for its top 10 most watched titles, first in hours viewed, then in quote-unquote views, which basically takes hours viewed and divides them by the total runtime of a program. Very interesting metric. Let's take a program that did 100 million views in its first 4 weeks, as announced by Netflix in its weekly top 10. This means a program generated enough viewing hours to be equivalent to 100 million complete viewings, but we are missing a crucial piece of data that Netflix does not share: the distribution of these viewing hours over the duration of the program, and in a case of series, per episode. Yes. This is always the thing. Like, again, if you start reporting vague figures, you will always be doing very, very wacky things. With Netflix's release model, one thing is certain: the most watched episode of a series is inevitably the first one. The episode that starts when anyone sees the thumbnail and clicks play. The most watched minute across all seasons of all binge Netflix series is necessarily the first minute of the first episode. Yes. No one accidentally stumbles upon the fourth episode on Netflix. There are no linear channels within Netflix that would allow for such a happy encounter with the series. Everyone, all 325 million, this is something I also must remind everybody. Whenever people say that Netflix's strategies are not working, know that we are all not me, right? Because I don't really buy into this, but lots of people are saying that Netflix is doing all the bad things with password sharing and everything. Know that you are objectively wrong. You might be sad, but you are objectively wrong. Makes me sad as well. The crackdown on password sharing worked wonders. It worked so well. It was crazy. And 800 million users worldwide follows the same path. They start with the first episode. Not me. I live chaotic neutral. I start with the 3rd episode. We don't even have all the data, and we don't know how the higher-ups are interpreting the same data. Also that, yes. Because for the higher-ups, we have talked about like a bunch of different things about what the most important metric for Netflix is, right? It's not necessarily even views, it's completion of a show, right? Which, I mean, makes sense. Adding to that first minute being watched is when you have a tab open with the intent to watch it later and having to keep pausing a video multiple times a day. I honestly don't know if they ever track sessions or anything like that. Because with the way they operate, I would imagine there is some kind of estimation of intent to watch. I would imagine so. But I mean, who knows? Right? Because if you are projecting outward what you expect the figures to look like, you would have to have a rough estimate of the intent to watch of like a of like a whole population, not necessarily like an individual, right? But I honestly don't know. YouTube has every single metric you could possibly imagine. I don't. YouTube's metrics are, bro, I don't know what they're cooking, but they're cooking. I think they have literally the where you're looking at the screen, even though they couldn't physically access that. YouTube has crazy data. What they do differs depending on the series. Some watch all episodes quickly, others watch one per day, one per week, and finally, some stop after 1, 2, or 5 episodes for various reasons. A lack of interest, personal obligations that prevent them from watching an episode and lead to them dropping out, a crying baby, or simply no longer feeling like continuing. In short, hundreds of possible and imaginable reasons lead to an inevitable result. Every season on Netflix necessarily loses viewers episode after episode. This is logical. Yes. I mean, over time, I guess theoretically no, because you could like make up for it in cumulative views, right? So I mean, true, but I guess you know. Netflix's view metric does not show this erosion within a season, yet it is crucial because 2 series with the same number of views can have vastly different audience erosion patterns throughout the season. Let's take an example of 2 series that achieved 65 million views after 4 weeks. On paper, these 2 series therefore have the same audience, but 65 million views can mean 2 very different outcomes. For example, number of views per episode across an X amount of time for 2 hypothetical series. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And this one obviously would get renewed. This one would be axed. Yes. Because the erosion here is dramatic. These 2 hypothetical series both achieved 65 million views, but one lost 70% of its initial audience, while the other lost only 20%. Consequently, a potential Season 2 of Series A would start with a potential pool of only 30 million viewers, whereas Season 2, this is the completion thing we talk about. It is precisely this differential that we see playing out in disappointing viewership numbers of recent second season shows. While Netflix does not publish per-episode viewership data for its scripted series, it readily does for certain live daily or weekly shows in its engagement reports, publishing every 6 months, which reveal the viewership in views of 19,000 programs. But I mean, with this in mind, wouldn't it still be a weird decision in many ways then? Like if Avatar opened with higher figures than Netflix. Season 2 was only greenlit after Season 1. So they would already have the like the drop off, right? Like the retention. So they already had the numbers when the first season ended. And if you extrapolate this directly, you wouldn't expect such a big difference between Season 1 of One Piece, Season 2 of One Piece, and then Avatar Season 1 and 2. So again, there clearly is some kind of hidden variable that we can't really prod for. I assume it's community reaction in the long term. I assume what that hidden variable is. Let's keep reading. Well, we already read that. The live show Everybody's Live with John aired for 12 weeks. Its viewership data shows that the first episode was by far the most watched, with 1.6 million. While the second episode lost 2/3 of its audience before stabilizing roughly until the end of the run. The gap between the first and last episode remains at negative 75%. First and last. Yeah. Okay. Realistically, this is where you would normalize the data. because the erosion of views here is practically non-existent. This is actually a very, very good show. Actually, very, very good data. If Netflix had reported viewership for the entire season, we would have seen a figure of 0.5 million views. Another live show, Pop the Balloon, aired on a weekly basis. Here, too, the first episode achieved the highest viewership with 3.4 million views, while the season finale totaled only 0.6. That is a massive drop of 82%. Yes. I'm just looking at the metric they're using. If Netflix had reported viewerships for the season, would have cited 1.1 million views. However, this figure would represent neither the audience of the first episode nor that of the last. Although it averages twice as many views as Everybody's Live with John Mulaney. The respective final episodes of both shows are not that far apart in terms of actual viewership. Finally, let's look at Dinner Time Live with David Chang, which managed to maintain its initial audience for 3 episodes before dropping drastically, yet stabilized until the end. Bro, this is... What the hell happened in episode 3? Did they kill someone on camera? What happened? This is like... Episode 1 drop-off makes sense. What the hell happened in episode 3? Did they like shoot someone on camera? I have several tabs ready for watching, and every time I misclip which tab I go to the YouTube video restarts and I have to pause it again. I'm honestly not too sure how YouTube counts viewing sessions nowadays. Because now it's very weird with, like, they also seem to be trying to push, like, rewatchability and stuff, right? On the YouTube side. YouTube wants you to rewatch videos for some reason, which I don't necessarily understand. Like, they even now have a thing that you can click on a video, like the 3 dots, and you can hide a video and say, I've already watched this. So, I don't know if YouTube is just assuming a lot of people watch stuff in the background, so they almost want to push you to watch the same thing again because they already know you liked it once, so that in turn will maximize your time on the platform. I don't know what the strategy is there, but you don't really see that kind of those kind of shenanigans with Netflix, do you? Article on One Piece Season 4 possibility. I think I saw the headline. Wasn't the headline pretty much that people think it's happening? I think it's happening too. I think it's happening too. Let's keep reading. Hello. All this is to say Netflix's view metric is useful, but it has a significant blind spot. I'm convinced that we would have seen similar viewership curves for every single Netflix series if the data was available, because it's only logical to think that every episode loses viewership. Therefore, in my view, Season 2 performance is simply a reflection of the audience erosion that occurred during Season 1. Again, let's finish. If Season 1 was well received and maintained its audience throughout its episodes, it should be able to start Season 2 on solid footing. Conversely, if it failed to sustain interest during the first season, Season 2 results will inevitably suffer. I've compiled the performance data of second seasons for major US Netflix series compared to the first season. So this is One Piece, and Avatar should be up somewhere down here, right? I think it was 59%. Why is Avatar not here? I assume it's because a major part of the article. Again, this is what I mean, right? So, all of this logic, I agree with this. Of course. But there is still a hidden variable that we can't see here. And it's very, very hard to say what would happen, again, if this were weekly versus all these other scenarios, right? They had data on the episode, like the last episode viewership numbers. But it's still different between these different shows, right? And in some cases, there seems to be almost like a 2x multiplier. So, community sentiment is still a big deal, which again, if you extrapolate to what would happen if the release structure as a whole was different, who knows? Let's look at a few examples. The 90s show, this is a sequel to the... I don't know what that is. Based on the title alone, it is likely to attract many curious subscribers, but the series probably didn't do enough to keep them hooked. I don't know, bro. Many curious subscribers, I'm not one of them. Fubar. This is Arnold Schwarzenegger's first series, and his face is prominently featured on the thumbnail. Naturally, this likely drew in curious viewers initially, but the disastrous Season 2 figures suggest these curious viewers probably left very quickly. Oh. 77%. That's rough, buddy. Beef. This series is an anthology, meaning the seasons are independent of one another. Yeah, this is another very, very interesting thing, actually. Season 1 achieved honorable ratings, but viewers clearly understood it was a limited series. Naturally, when Season 2 arrived with new characters and a new story, audiences evidently felt that it did not need to return since the original story was concluded. Sometimes Netflix distinguishes anthology series with separate thumbnails and pages as a service. This is always very, very interesting to me, actually. We don't have to get into it now, but like with the recent, I feel like anthology series have gotten a lot more popular, right? With things like Black Mirror and like True Detective even, right? And I've always been very, very curious to see how networks even think about dealing with them, because if you're functionally making a new show and just banking off of the advertising of the first one, I think it's very much like a double-edged sword, because on one hand, you have an established audience that could automatically make you succeed, but at the same time, you might be severely overestimating everything. You know? Very interesting decision-making on that front. Ginny and George of the series actually grew between Season 1 and 2, proving that such a trajectory is possible. How is this miracle achieved? It's quite simple. One can assume it experienced very low episode-by-episode erosion, and then, between the releases of Season 1 and 2, other subscribers discovered the series, enjoyed it, watched through the end, and thus added themselves to the potential audience pool ready for Season 2. The time gap between two seasons therefore worked in the show's favor, allowing to accumulate more fans. A similar dynamic undoubtedly occurred for Stranger Things, Bridgerton, and for any other series that actually managed to grow its viewership between two seasons. When the quality resonates with potential audience, that audience not only stays, but grows as the total number of Netflix subscribers increases. Yep, but the same exact principle could be applied to weekly releases, no? Like, that's what happened with The Last of Us. It grew episode over episode for a whole season. I assume we'll be looking into this. People could also just lose interest over years in between seasons and just no longer care, or giving up their subscriptions. The subscriptions thing is a completely moot point for Netflix. Their subscriptions are going up on the aggregate. So losing subscribers is not a variable I think they make at all in renewing shows. I think that is... I assume they have some kind of variable that they can control that, for example, I subscribed exclusively for Avatar and One Piece, right? I literally renewed my subscription, and that was the first thing I watched. So I assume they have data on conversion of subscriptions. But beyond that, I think the whole idea of people unsubbing literally doesn't matter for them with these decisions. Obviously, people may lose interest between the seasons, but in terms of like strategic decisions, I don't think that's a problem at all for them. Okay, let's see this point, because again, this same trend could obviously happen for a weekly series as well. Netflix's audience gives everything a chance, but is also very fickle. To minimize erosion within a season, Netflix already employs the best recipe, a binge release. Having all episodes available at once helps reduce this erosion as much as possible. However, in a service where a dozen new series are released every month, actually, this might be me being weird. Thank you for the sub. We might hear British Koroto in a second, if he comes through. Is he coming through? I think he's still in the walls. Let's see if he makes his appearance.
Ahoy, it's me, RCXDJ.
That's not British Koroto. That's not British Koroto. I think my TTS broke again. That was not British Koroto. I think they killed British Koroto. I forgot what I was saying. That caught me so off guard. What the hell was I saying? Oh! I remember what I was saying. Having all episodes available at once. There is sunlight outside and it's raining. Having all episodes available at once helps reduce erosion as much as possible. I'm gonna be real with you. For me, this is literally the complete opposite. If I am kind of torn on... And this might be me being weird. Okay, I fully admit this. I exist in a weird bubble where like I think about creating stuff for YouTube and I interact with a bunch of things online. Maybe I am the odd one out here. But for me, this is the complete opposite. If there is a whole season available in front of me right now versus watching it weekly, and I'm still not like fully sold on this, I am being 100% serious. Watching the episodes like bite-sized over multiple weeks has a infinitely higher chance of me actually completing the show. Exhibit A, Arcane. Literally. Arcane dropped the whole chunks. Oppa is scared. And I had like 3 hours of stuff to watch. And eventually I just didn't watch it. I'm gonna close the window. Oppa is scared. Hold up. So I think this is kind of a double-edged sword. Appa? I think he ran away. Is there a single thing in this universe that Appa is not afraid of? Oh, scaredy boy. Okay. To illustrate this, we'll revisit 2 medical series released last year. Season 1 of The Pit, HBO, released weekly. Yeah, this was just a waste of their time on a show. It doesn't appeal for them. Doesn't appeal to them right from the start. Again, for me, literally the complete opposite. I have a weird thing in my brain where if I have the whole series ahead of me, it looks like a whole thing that I'm like, oh, it just take too long to watch. I'd rather not watch it, and then I drop it. If you give me it bite-sized, infinitely higher chance I'll watch it. To illustrate this, let's revisit 2 medical dramas released last year. Season 1 of The Pit. Everybody should watch The Pit. The Pit was excellent. No wonder this thing grew. And Season 1 of Pulse on Netflix, released via binge. The former was a phenomenon and was renewed while the latter was cancelled. One might assume The Pit drew a much larger audience than Pulse, but according to per-episode data from Luminate in the US, collected, I'm going to be real with you, I think The Pit just must be a better show. Literally the first time I'm hearing of The Pulse. The Pit was, people were talking about The Pit as it was being excellent, and then I watched it. It was the most excellent thing I've seen in my life. It's goated. According to per-episode data from collected by this is not the case, at least not over the first 28 days. Pulse launched with 9 million views in 28 days for its first episode, dropping to 7 million for episode 2, just under 6 million for episode 3. This clearly shows the harsh filtering for curious viewers over the first 3 episodes, followed by a slower erosion throughout the remaining episodes, leaving only converted fans. Between episode 1 and 10, the series thus lost more than 50% of the audience. For The Pit, the situation is slightly different due to its weekly release over 14 years. 14 weeks, just look at the figures. This was a binge release, yes. You see what I mean? If you see a drop like this, there is no word of mouth here. It's dead. Like if you lose 2 million viewers, episode 1, this is where erosion starts. This, if there is word of mouth, this is the growth. The word of mouth doesn't stick around for 1 week. It sticks around for 5 weeks. And then it starts going up. This is what I mean. So I think like even if you have this small converted audience, it is still infinitely easier to build the audience back up. Cliffhangers each episode making you watch more, and having that at the back of your head for a week probably inflates the interest you'd rather have when the answer is 2 clicks away. I don't know, like again, I'm very weird about this. I'm just thinking about like how I watch series. And I do think I'm an anomaly. I do think the way I watch everything is weird. I don't think there's a lot of people who take notes on practically everything they watched in case I end up writing a script about it. For new IPs, I found it easier for me to love the show by binging first a few episodes than enjoying it in ongoing. Yeah, something about just seeing things bite-sized. For me, it's just easier to consume the whole, get into it, you know? Whereas if it's just a whole thing dropped on top of me, it feels like a obligation almost. Which I guess, this is what I mean, I'm weird. Because I guess for a different person, watching it weekly would be an obligation. right? It's like, oh, this thing is coming. Oh, no, it's Friday again. Better watch my TV show. But for me, it's the opposite. It's like if I see the whole thing, for me, that is an obligation. I need to finish this. Whereas if it's coming out bite-sized, I'm like, oh, yeah, it's my TV show. It's weird. Very, very weird. A good example for you is how you've changed your approach to One Piece after... Oh, One Piece for me is a complete... Nothing will ever match the interest in One Piece for me. When I was literally writing videos for it. Bro, the sheer high I felt, I think it was 2022. The summer of 2022. I yearn for those days. I literally have crystal clear pictures in my brain when I was writing a One Piece video and I was like, okay, I need to think this through. And I literally went outside and I did the dad thing of going outside and standing like this. Just stand. Wait, hold on, let me look at it. I went outside, I was like... And then I thought about my theories. And then I came back inside and continued writing my script. Bro, I'll never forget about it. I don't have that now. I don't have that now at all, because I'm not writing the scripts regularly. There was so much to do, so much to see with One Piece. It was crazy. It was crazy. My interest remains per each major saga, and then I just dip for a couple of months. Yeah, I've started doing the chapter releases, and for me that is a highlight of the week. It's always like the thing that is stable, you know. Everything else I work as I work, but the One Piece thing is always there, the all reliable. I think we're just figuring out that I'm weird. Like for me, wait, it's actually starting to make a lot more sense. For me, having a clear obligation is actually comfortable. I might explain many things. Let's keep going. The 28-day metric creates a false impression of episodes gaining audience, but this is somewhat misleading. Since the series aired over 14 weeks, the graph only displays the first 4 weeks of viewership for each episode. Still, looking strictly at raw numbers, the most watched episode of The Pit within its 28 days achieved at best 65% of the audience of Pulse's most watched episode over that same period. Yet one was renewed and the other cancelled because the trajectories were fundamentally different, especially when a potential Season 2 must build upon Season 1's audience's base. Some have attributed the Pit's success to the weekly release schedule, but it is more likely due to the consistent quality of the show. Unsurprising given... Yeah, I mean... The quality rules all. There are exceptions. But if you make a very good show, it's going to be very good. When quality falters, audiences drop regardless of the release schedule, weekly or otherwise. Absolutely. Consider the US viewership of Heroes. I mean, take The Walking Dead, bro. It was at the top of the world. Like, Walking Dead and Game of Thrones were going blow for blow every week. Where is The Walking Dead now? It's a laughingstock. People are making memes of friggin' AMC's butchering of Maggie and whatever the hell they're doing with Negan. That's the only thing I see from The Walking Dead. Everything is ruined. My beloved, killed. Its body dragged through the mud. Consider the US viewership for Heroes 20 years ago. It was a massive hit. I'm surprised he didn't mention The Walking Dead. I'm gonna be real with you. Declining episode after episode despite the weekly release format and the 7th month wait between seasons. I am shocked he didn't go straight for The Walking Dead. This is a pattern found in many series, even though a few exceptions managed to grow over their first or 3 seasons, or even 8 if we consider Game of Thrones. Although, again, more people watch the first season of Game of Thrones over time than its last. This is natural and logical. If we examine... Well, yeah, but like, cumulative views is whatever, right? You want to watch the trajectory of a show. If we examine the performance of recent weekly streaming series using limited data, an interesting trend emerges. All series adapted from existing universes such as Star Wars and the MCU, Percy Jackson, and Halo have lost audience to varying degrees in their second seasons. So Severance grew 3 times. Well, that's crazy. Your Friends and Neighbors, a friend of mine is trying to get me to watch this. Apparently this is good. Andor, Jesus. Daredevil, Percy Jackson, that also just straight up died. Paradise, I want to watch Paradise. The Pit is goated. Halo, that's whatever. I don't even know what Landman is. Bro, this what the... Landman has 30 mil... What the hell is Landman? Huh? The first time I'm hearing of this. Paramount original. 30 million views? Huh? I mean, I guess it lost a third, but still. Is still going? You mean The Walking Dead? Its corpses. Its corpse is still going along. Slowly dragging his feet until there will be not even bones left. It'll just be a shambling chunk of whatever. Man. I think what they did to Robert Kirkman should frankly be a crime against humanity, bro. Like people say that George's material was butchered. I think he's in familiar company. Those that are growing, Severance, Paradise, and Pit are all original series that started modestly before exploding popularity. An original universe has a better chance of attracting newcomers than an established one, which immediately draws in fans and connoisseurs alongside the general public, only to lose them more or less quickly thereafter. Yeah, I mean, obviously, creating a new universe is going to be a bigger gamble with a bigger potential payoff, of course. All this is amplified on Netflix with its 325 million paid subscribers. In my view, this is not a question of quality or release format, but rather an audience that tests and tries content outside of its comfort zone, yet ultimately shows little sentimentality when it doesn't like something. Let's see. I'll look at the past to understand the present. Another strong indicator of the season-over-season erosion can also be found in the engagement reports. The category of programs that interest me here is that of older Netflix series that have long since ended. This is interesting because we're looking at programs with multiple seasons available immediately with no waiting period. Yet here too, we observe a more or less pronounced erosion between seasons. So, like, very, very roughly speaking, basically every single show loses like 50% by the end of by the time they wrap up the show. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. Although I think with the show with like 7 seasons nowadays, doesn't Orange is the New Black have like 1 million episodes? Because I think this is a situation where it's like not even shouldn't it display how many total episodes does it have? 91 episodes, bro. This thing is crazy. I think nowadays there's also a major thing of like you're not even dropping the show. I guess he mentioned it earlier, right? Like it's not even dropping the show because of the show or whatever. It's literally just like this thing is too long. You just stop watching it somewhere along the way. Yeah, this is the pattern is also evident in current series with an average drop of 35% between seasons 1 and 2, 6% between seasons 2 and 3, and 9% between season 3 and 4 among the data I have. The season 2 sheds the curious viewers from season 1, and the erosion continues at a slower pace in the following seasons. This does not mean there are no suspects to blame for the underperformance of recent second seasons. Personally, though I cannot prove it, I do believe the wait between seasons is such a significant factor. Series like Bridgerton and Stranger Things have shown that regardless of the gap between seasons, if a show is cherished by its core fan base, they will be there for the first week. It is likely a factor for moderately appreciated average series, but true fans always show up. You just need to have enough of them. Others have pointed to the lack of marketing. I doubt this as well, as I do not believe Netflix stayed silent on the release of the new Avatar, for example, but Netflix has the most prized billboard with its homepage. Wait, what? Others have pointed to the lack of marketing. I doubt this as well, as I do not believe Netflix stayed silent on the release of the new season of Avatar: The Last Airbender, for example. Netflix has the most prized billboard with its homepage. It is weirdly phrased. I don't know. Point is, it did feel like Netflix wasn't marketing Avatar nearly to the same extent as One Piece did. I guess what he's just saying is that it literally doesn't matter, right? Because you open Netflix and it's right there. So if Netflix puts you on the homepage of Netflix, it's like the most important form of marketing you could possibly have. Everything else doesn't matter, I guess. I have one last potential suspect, also without irrefutable proof. Netflix's new TV interface. Its implementation was quite difficult, with many users questioning its usability and noting that fewer titles were visible at first glance. The effects of this rollout are very hard to assess, but if I had to bet on an accomplice in addition to the main culprit mentioned here, this is the one I would charge. Or maybe it did work too well, attracting way more curious people than it should have, hence creating a bigger drop-off for series. It could go both ways. Conclusion. Does Netflix therefore have a Season 2 problem? In my view, no. The sophomore slump is primarily a statistical artifact and consequences of Netflix's sheer size. It is a statistical artifact because views metric masks the natural erosion that occurs episode after episode within a single season. Data we do not have access to. The metric smooths over reality by equating an artificially inflated start with an actual retention, creating the optical illusion of a sophomore slump. It is also a consequence of Netflix's size because the first season acts as a funnel, attracting a vast audience of curious people, marketing yada yada, from among yada yada. Consequently, Season 2 does not start with the same potential as Season 1, but only with the remaining core target, the viewers who actually completed Season 1. The decline in Season 2 is the direct reflection of internal erosion within the first season, rendered invisible by the platform's views metric. The real issue may lie in the fact that Season 1 often fails to convert curious viewers into loyal fans, but given such a massive volume of users, is that even possible? I guess I remain half unconvinced. Because this still wouldn't really explain the multiplicative effect we see between series like Avatar and One Piece, right? Netflix internally would have had the completion data for both. Yet there is still a massive difference in who showed up for Season 2. So clearly, we can infer that the community sentiment still ends up being a multiplier for who returns, who doesn't, right? So if in the ethos there exists the opinion that even after however many people finish Season 1 of Avatar, Avatar is bad, right? It has a multiplicative effect of even those who finish Season 1 never returning for Season 2. So the core audience itself is not necessarily a thing you could directly just transpose, clearly, right? And if we extrapolate that to the other side, well, then wouldn't that also hold true for weekly releases? If the sentiment for a series is good, wouldn't having like 7-8 straight weeks of talking and marketing everywhere, wouldn't that also do the same thing? Building core audience. I don't know. I can't prove it. But it's what I feel. It's definitely what I feel. Because, with Squid Game, I only heard about it in like week 3. That's the weird part. I didn't watch Squid Game. It wasn't even week 3. I think it was way longer than that. I didn't watch Squid Game on release. And if that had aired weekly, I guarantee you I would have watched that on release. I probably heard about it like once. But I think Squid Game... Actually, no, let's not use Squid... I think Squid Game was a weird example. I think Squid Game popped off, like, after it was even released. I might be misremembering. I do think he is right about... generally, though. Right? I do think, like, this whole point of Season 2 largely being a artifact of how they report data, I do think he is 100% right about this. Right? I do think this is, like, lying with statistics, in a way, from Netflix's side. Not necessarily lying, but it's just like we don't have perfect information. He says that Avatar was marketed on the homepage, which is fair, but it didn't market to people like you who subscribe only for a specific... Very good point. Not people like me, but people who are less terminally online than me. Yes, that is a very good point. If Avatar did not receive the same level of marketing outside of their own platform, and we know that switching behavior does exist, these people would not be captured in this thought exercise at all, right? So if you are a person who subscribes to HBO, watches a few shows, and then subscribes to Netflix for a specific show, and you were never marketed to through like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, right? Wherever you see these things, you would not be captured in this thought experiment at all. You have a very good point. I'm terminally online. I know exactly what I want and when I want it. But I assume there are a few people who might not exhibit the same kind of behavior. Yes. Yes. Oh no, though. Like, this is what I mean. I still think thinking how could you possibly try to put this in hypothetically, if we had perfect data, Could we ever have a true experimental approach of gauging the difference? I think the only way to gauge a difference between audience reactions, I think you could construct a lab experiment around this. If you found like 100 people, it'd still be very hard. I'm thinking, what if you could construct a lab experiment, right? You would have a group. One group would watch the whole show binge release. The other group would watch the show weekly, right? And then we would compare certain... I know experiments like this exist. There was one with recall. How much of the show people recalled, right? And I think like the people who watched weekly, I think they showed higher levels of retention of information as opposed to the binge module, which makes sense, right? If you sit there for 8 hours watching a show, half of it is going to be a blur, obviously. So it's the same reason why studying requires repetition. Not sitting there doing the same thing for 8 hours. It only makes sense, right? Which is, again, one of the reasons why I think like there is a bunch of invisible data here that we can't fully gauge. If a person is watching something weekly and a person is watching something as a binge release, I think that fundamentally occupies two different spaces in your brain. And if it becomes like appointment viewing, right, which was a whole thing people said back in the day with a lot of these shows, appointment viewing created a culture, right, where you had to be there. And that created like a whole ecosystem of people continuing to watch because it was basically a thing in their brains that they always had to do, right? The reason why regiments work. Back to what I was saying. You could have one group who are binging it and one group who are watching it weekly, right? And then you could have them fill out some kind of survey about what they liked, what they didn't like. Now, problem is, you would still have preferences, and you would have to somehow control for those preferences. So perhaps we could repeat the same experiment across various different genres, and then maybe we could try and extrapolate some kind of hidden trend that basically it would filter out the noise that are personal preferences. I don't think this would work. But maybe, because then you would have to mix up the groups, right? You would want one group to watch something binge weekly, and then you would want them to watch different shows, and you probably want to invert them, right? I don't think it's possible. There would be too many personal preference factors and everything. I don't think you could do that. I think this is a vibe thing. I don't think you could possibly control an experiment nearly enough to actually have good data there. Basically, I remain unconvinced. Lots of very, very good arguments in this article. I very much like a full write-up with no BS. Would you like a Bloomberg article? No. Leave me alone. Thank you, What's on Netflix. I had a lot of fun. I read an article for 44 minutes. I've been thoroughly entertained. I mean, what is the takeaway? Make better shows, I guess. That's the takeaway. I guess if you make a good show, it doesn't really matter, right? If you just make a good thing, Attack on Titan, for instance. 4 years between seasons, messed up season 2. Actually, thinking about it now, Attack on Titan season 2 is kind of hilarious. Season 2 took like 4 years, and it was like 12 episodes of mostly setup. Granted, there were a few reveals, like very, very big reveals. But season 2, by and large, is a lot of setup. Still popped the hell off, though. It's kind of funny thinking about it now. I think season 3 was also kind of weird in release structure. I don't even remember. Feels like a lifetime ago. I remain unconvinced. I remain unconvinced. I'm gonna think about how to construct a lab experiment for this. What if I could test on myself? I could never find nearly enough shows for controls, though. Because I either love or hate a show. I very rarely have something in between. Usually those I just don't watch. Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't think this is something we can fully control. That said, watch The Pit. 25 Emmy nominations. The Pit is one of the most goated shows I've ever seen. Absolutely love this. I watched season 1, and then I was locked in for season 2. Season 3 is happening next year, January. They're filming one season a year. It's coming out every single year in January. I think that's the goal they set, and I'm pretty sure, like, as long as... I'm pretty sure, like, the phrase they used was, as long as we could keep going, we'll keep going with the same exact schedule. Which, like, bro, a full season of straight fire every single year, I'm locked in. It's 15 weeks, too. 15 straight episodes. Season 3 was in halves. I remember, yeah, Attack on Titan was split in half, but I think there was also a bunch of weirdness. I may be completely misremembering. I don't remember. I think there was some kind of shenanigans with Season 3. I don't remember. There is definitely, like, the split happened in a slightly awkward spot, right? Because there was the messed up outro. The spooky one, though, like, with the glitches and everything. There was something that happened there. I don't remember. That's too long ago. I'm an old man. I'm a very, very old man. Very, very old man. I did see this. Do I want to crash out about this again? Maybe. Let's talk about this. I saw this, right? So this is Mother's Basement talking about this as well. We gotta stop treating anime like sports. So once again, a new anime has dropped, which obviously means that every single person who is centered their entire personality around a fictional IP will go to every single review site and basically say, I'm doing my part, and rate the whole season after the first 2 minutes of the first episode a 10 out of 10. Mushoku Tensei anime is experiencing a rapid drop in ratings. I ran a Python script on the last 24 hours of votes. Out of 1,622 20 new votes, 85 were review bombs, and 69 came from ReZero fans. Objectively, ReZero fans are the primary cause of Mushoku Tensei's declining ratings. I have been talking about this for so long, bro. Number one, review culture is beyond cooked. It feels like people who like a show have completely lost the ability to distinguish between some kind of, like, stan culture where, like, the thing I like, it must be defended with my life and honor. It is a 10 out of 10. I would kill for this thing, right? It cannot have anything wrong with it. That is a thing they can't admit. And on the complete opposite side, there are people who basically are like, everything else except my thing is unworthy of respect. So they actually go out and start rating these things down. And I do think, like, my anime list is a particular goof troop on this front, because they do this nonsense, bro. Season 4. What the hell do you mean Season 4? Why is an individual season on here? It doesn't even make any sense. Why are movies rated alongside anime? This is like a second season movie. Why is this here? It's fun to... Gintama again. Why? This doesn't even make any sense. So I do think my anime list is one of the clown central meeting spots. I don't even look at my anime list tops anymore. I remember back in the day, it was a very, very good gauge of, like, the all-time greats to watch, right? But now, like, Frieren, I love Frieren. But bro, it's been 2 seasons. Is it the absolute greatest anime that has ever been produced? I don't know about that one, bro. How about we see if it stands the test of time? It's one of my favorites. Hell yeah, I'd put it up there. But I don't know, bro. Currently, the rule is anything that is new will have straight 10s. Straight 10s. Jojo, brother, are you insane? It's been 40 minutes. Do you realize we could have literal One Punch Man animation? You've rated this 9.1. It's the 4th greatest anime of all time. Are you insane? What else do we have on here? Attack on Titan split into seasons. Bro, this is so stupid. One Piece fan letter. 14th greatest anime. Brother, give somebody who doesn't know anything about One Piece to watch this. I don't think they'll say it's the 14th greatest anime of all time, I'll tell you that much. I hate this ranking system. It literally makes no sense to me. It's obvious whoever runs my anime list has a huge bias as well. I don't know, like, I just think this whole top list, once upon a time, it was very, very useful to look at very, very interesting shows that are like the all-time greats. Now, this is just does not exist, right? You can filter out top TV series, I guess, which, like, removes movies, but it's still... In what world would you compare an individual season that is, like... is beyond goofy, in my opinion. Like, why the hell are you rating Season 4 as a standalone thing? It's crazy. The moment when I realized that Speed's early stream was on IMDb, I understood how goofy this whole review stuff is. Very, very true. And the problem is, like... There kind of is no... Like, ideally, every single person would, like, find the number of, like, curators that people like, right? Like, whether that be, like, people on YouTube, whether that be individual journalists, like, some kind of person who basically functions as your personal curator, right? And if you think that this person kind of aligns with me with what they like, people usually just go to this person, and then you can have like a generally accurate estimate of what you would expect from a show, right? But that's not really the world we live in. Like, I also sometimes glance at like IMDb just to get a rough ballpark, right? Recently, Point Break, this right here, bro, this movie, the original, this movie is the mid of all mids. I don't know how, in what world this is a lower rating than this, brother. Keanu Reeves is a walking paper sheet. This movie, it's not very good. it's very much not very good. There are some interesting things about it, but bro, it's not better than the remake, right? And I think this is an artifact of it just being old. It's a very, very imperfect measurement. But obviously, you're not going to have perfect measurements for all these things. So, like, I don't really know if there is a better solution to any of these things. My anime list UI is so garbage, it looks so ugly. Like, bro, learn from something from other review websites. I don't think any review website is particularly good looking. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I think all these review websites just kind of look janky. I don't know why, but it is true. JoJo has different parts, which makes sense to rate separately, but that's the exception. JoJo's practically an anthology series, so yeah, that I would agree with. Not episode 1. Like, you all know JoJo is one of my favorite things ever. And part 7, brother, he's right there. He's right there. That's part 7 right there. It's on my wall. It's not the 4th greatest anime. It's been 40 minutes. Episode 2 could come out and it could be One Punch Man. Are you insane? It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. You can rate part, like... Yeah, part 3, 4, you can rate, like, completely independently. I guess part 5, too. Part 1 and 2, maybe part 1 and 2 would kind of go together, like, even though they are separate parts. But still, like, JoJo, I understand how that at least you could rate separately. But in what world can you rate Chainsaw Man as a standalone thing? Or ReZero Season 4? Like, brother. Are you insane? And this whole stan culture, I hate it. I despise it. I think it's like the most cringe of all cringes. It's so... It's again like the same thing we talked about with, I guess it all has like the same roots, right? Where a lot of people nowadays, and I don't know why this happened, but a lot of people I feel like need to be... A lot of people are very, very defensive over their opinion, and they need their opinion validated. So if this is my favorite thing, I need it to be everybody's favorite thing. And the only way I can tell myself that this is everybody's favorite thing is by making the fake number go up, right? And we talked about the same thing with like the whole Avatar thing, right? Where unless our opinions aligned like 1 for 1, you are wrong. Like, people need to be patted on the head and told that your opinion is valid. Valid. I don't agree with it, but it's very valid. I pat you on the head. It's kind of like the same thing here. Your stand ability would be to magically change reviews with their honest thoughts as you read them? Yes. Yes. If I could extract people's actual honest opinions about every single form of media, I think we could achieve enlightenment. It would be glorious. Imagine actually being able to gauge a series quality by the reviews. Now that is a foreign concept. That is a foreign concept. I don't like review websites. I don't. I don't. But at the same time, like, I mean, I make 40-minute videos on like a whole series, and people are like, where. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else I can do. It's crazy that one episode can be rated as one of the greatest shows of all time, though. There must be a way to, like, somehow... I mean, the most simple thing I would do for my anime list is literally make it impossible for the series to appear in any top at all before it's completed. That's like the most literally straightforward implementation. People will still go out and start review bombing things, right? But at least you lose the immediate oh, my series is #1 on my anime list thing that these bozos like to achieve. You immediately remove this possibility as a whole. It will never display a score on the top at all. But there must be a way of also controlling the fact that, like, it has a number of people who have finished the show or something. Not finish the show, because it only has members, right? It doesn't have active viewing history or anything. But I don't know. I don't like my anime list. The fact that, like, every single show is getting buried by season 75 of the newest show is dumb to me. The same thing with, bro, literally the finale of Attack on Titan is up here. Both parts. The dumbest thing I've seen in my life. Sounds like the same parasocial thing, but in relation to fictional stories and not online talking heads. Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people now, again, I just said this, a lot of people now, like, very much base their own personality around the thing they like, right? Like, they can't like the thing and understand why some people might not like it. For example, I can confidently tell you, SAO, you can't see it, it's Aincrad. SAO, my beloved. That's it. It's not on this goofy, stupid list. I don't even know how much it has. Well, what is it? What is the Sword Art on? Oh, but it's gonna be different seasons. It's gonna be stupid. Sword Art Online. Let's look at Alicization. We'll look at season 2 as well, because that has Mother's Rosario, and we'll look at season 1, and we'll look at all of them. 7.59, 7.58, 6.72, 7.23, right? Not on any of the tops. Oh well. Damn, that's crazy. A lot of people can't tolerate this. They cannot tolerate this. For some reason, their series must be validated by the community at large. It is very weird, though. I don't know when this started, because it feels like it has only gotten exponentially worse. I am genuinely very, very interested in this phenomenon. I don't know when this crazy, like, stan culture popped off, because it wasn't like this. Obviously, people always had different opinions. Like, there were always arguments on what is the best series, right? But it was never to this extent. Like, I now genuinely feel like people can distinguish, like, fiction from reality. Like, it genuinely feels like this series is me. And everything you say about this series is an insult against me. I don't know when this happened. I don't know. Sword Art Online is your GOAT? Yep. That's my GOAT. One of the most done dirty series of all time, because all these bozo YouTubers, bozos in the early 2010s, who were lazy and could never come up with their own opinion, only parroted nonsense, and a decade later admitted that they never cared because they were just farming views. Not me. I made my Avatar video, and I tanked all the blame from all the bozos. Not me. Could never be me. Now, granted, a lot of these bozos from the 2010s are a lot more successful than me, so maybe they did something right. Not me, though. Not me, though. So much of the SAO hate is completely fake. It's very funny to me. A couple of jokes that haven't aged very well, but making Austin a racist. What? That's not what I expected to read. That is not what I expected to read at all. I would say that kind of goes against her character a little bit. I think I would fairly confidently say that. I don't like my anime list. I don't. At least one good thing they have done is it's very easy to now view localized. Bro, you know, I know this for like if you've been watching anime for like 20 years, right? I was very young. I wasn't watching 20 years ago, but I think for everybody that has watched anime like 5 to 8 years longer than me, I think that's generally where like the drift happened. So many of these shows got popular with the English title. Can we please have the actual English title like somewhere here as well, please? Please. Like, there's a reason why Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is called Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. So many of these shows were not popularized with a localized title. That happened back in the day. That doesn't happen anymore. This happened in the days of like fan subs when there weren't official translations and the official titles were bad. That doesn't happen anymore. It's a reason why it's called Chainsaw Man movie. Reze Hen. Brother, what? It's a Reze arc. Literally 90% of it is the English title. What the hell do you mean? Like, what is this title? I have so much beef with this website. One Piece fan letter. Bro, you should have called it One Piece. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. It's not about just reviews. People on the internet are nonstop 24/7. It's making everybody a little psycho. That's why it's so worse now. I don't think so. I'm on the internet 24/7. I don't go on review websites. I don't review bomb anyone. I don't call anybody names. I don't insult people, except sometimes calling people bozos. But that's out of love. So everybody's a bozo every now and then. I'm not a psycho at all. I would in fact say I'm very boring. Maybe if I was a little bit more psycho, I would do better in life. But I'm not. I'm not. At least Monster is still up here. That at least makes me happy. It's so funny to me how literally like half of these shows have the English title and for some reason like Attack on Titan is still Shingeki no Kyojin. Why? Brother, what? I don't understand this website. Bro, in the Ghibli movies? Bro, who the hell knows the Ghibli movies by the original titles? I have so much beef with this website. It's crazy. I do very much agree with Mother's Basement, though. I think this is cringe. I very much agree with them. I very much agree with them. Not a direct pattern, but it's a correlation code would rough people up. I think COVID is a big deal. Yeah, I do think so. I think it's also just like a review culture in general is. I think just most things around media discourse have gotten worse. I don't know if it's necessarily just COVID or something else, but I don't know. It's also very funny how they're arguing over 69 numbers. Literally 69 individuals across the whole world. Imagine this being your greatest problem. 69 people in the entire planet. These are your greatest problem. You're doing programming to isolate the review bombers. Did Mother's Basement also make a Sword Art Online video shooting on it? I'm pretty sure he has. Yes. I think it's one of the. Hold on, let's see. Mother's Basement. SAO. I think I haven't watched this. Bro, was he dunking on Alicization? Alicization was peak, bro. This is more beef. I think this is the video I watched like years and years and years and years ago. I haven't watched Alternative. I don't remember these videos. I mean, these are 9 years ago. Who knows? Dunking on Alicization, though, bro. Alicization was peak. Mother's Rosario? Watch Mother's Rosario and try and tell me it's not peak, bro. Lying to yourself. You are chained to society. Gotta wake up. Wake up. You're experiencing peak. You're chained by predispositions fed to you through nonsense on the internet. Mother's Rosario, I don't even remember how many episodes it is. It is a short arc. It's one of my favorite anime arcs of all time. That one... messes me up. Even now. Only problem is like mid-season too. It's in a very, very weird spot. Very, very weird spot. I don't remember where it is even. I think it's like episode 14, like 18 or something. Nah, actually I think it's a bit longer than that. I think it goes until the end of the season. I don't remember. Anyway, let's do a little bit of Binding of Isaac. A little bit of gamers. A little bit of gamers. Binding of Isaac. There it is. Rebirth. Yes. 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 Gaming. Oh, I've made progress. I have made great progress. I think I could just go into here, right? There it is. I killed the next thing. Apparently, when you clear the base game, you have to clear the base game again. Very interesting. I cleared the base game again, and this time the base game didn't end. I kept going. And then I got into some kind of weird hellscape. I think it was like the womb. And then I killed the boss again. And I unlocked even more stuff. It was very exciting. I have... what did I have? Wait, I unlocked some guy. Oh, I think I unlocked Eden, but oh, you need to beat the game to use him again? I had Eden, I think. Eden tokens. I need to be Isaac again? That's crazy. I've been demoted. So sucked and sad. Ow. Last time I played this, I had the worst build of all time, by the way. I had something that turned my tears into like a targeted... it was like a red reticle, right? But it moved around and it was blocked by objects. It was literally the worst thing I've ever had. I literally just became worse. I was so mad. I beat the game though. It's kind of glorious. Bro. Oh my god. Why is the first room I opened filled with bozos? It showed a heart, so you've killed the heart on that character? Yes, I did. I did. That is indeed what I achieved. However, Eden has now been taken away from me. I don't know why. Whoops. I was going to go grab the extra heart. You can go through walls? Since when? I don't need the extra heart. Apparently they can go through walls. I did not know that. We got bozos. There's also probably a secret room in between there. I should have probably gone hard, actually. This is normal again. Bro. Are you for real? Hate this game. Hate this game. Why would you do this? Secret rock in secret room? What the hell does that mean? Marked with an... Huh? Well, hold on, let me go back. What? Secret rock? I don't know about any secret rocks. I got a key. I'm gonna go get one of the loot boxes anyway. Am I blind? Which one of these is supposed to be marked with an X? Top rock, right side? This one? That's supposed to be an X? Hey, yo! I did not know that. Should I get the other loot bag? I will. I don't think I'm ever going to spot the little X again in my life. Not gonna lie. Should I just jump down? I've already got the loot room. Oh, I'm just gonna jump down. I don't think... Why am I in Mario? What? I don't know what any of these things are. I'm just gonna buy one of them at random. This thing looks like a coffee machine. I'll buy that one. Buddy in a box. Might have been the worst thing I could have bought. Now I'm just looking at these rocks, bro. I don't think I'm ever going to spot the X again. I'm gonna be totally real with you. I don't know what this is. I don't know why I have this. I've never been here. Let's go down. Cellar 2. Oh, this guy apparently shoots. That's good. Kill the spawner. Loaded. I don't have any keys. I don't have any keys. That's the problem. I yearn for keys. Thank you. Very nice. Let's go get the loot. It's probably a smarter idea to go in there and buy another key. Whoops. Blind tears. You got me paranoid now. I'm literally looking at every single rock in the room. I'm never gonna spot them. It's actually insane. I don't have any keys. There could be a key in this. Ooh. The HUD mod for Isaac shows you your actual stats. I don't know what that is, but I guess I will. I don't want to go in here yet. Oh, there might be a secret room here, right? Nope. What? Oh, it's blind. Got it. I really want to get another key because I got a lot of money. I got lots of doubloons. Why are they dropping so much cash? I need another key. Like, desperately. I'm gonna clear the rest of the level. I want another key. Please give me a key. Please give me a key. No! Wheel of Fortune. Gambling. 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 Explosions. What the hell is that? What the hell is this? Is there a loot room here? Is that what it is? Oh, I don't have any bombs. Wait, I'm taking the pill. I should not have taken the pill. We are basically cooked. I wasted so much money, and I got nothing. I didn't even get a shirt. A t-shirt. What's the joke? All I got is a lousy t-shirt or whatever the hell. I didn't even get a t-shirt. I got nothing. Get him! Okay, that was easy. I yearn for a key. I'll make a deal with the devil to get a key. What is this? Is it a good idea to immediately invalidate the health buff I just got? Yes. Eternal life. What the hell does one question mark mean? Hate this game. So I have 18 doubloons. This guy... I'm so stupid. This guy gives bombs, right? No. Does he only give those things? I don't know. Can you give me a bomb? Please? No, you just drop those things. Alright, let's go down. I have so much money to spend, it's actually crazy. Don't die. Okay. I have 18 doubloons. I hate these. Bro, these things are one of the most annoying mobs in this game. Bunch of bozos. I still don't have any keys. I still do not have any keys. I still do not have any keys. That was easy. Okay, these guys we could just kill before they get to me. This is gonna be fine. That's one. And that's the other one. Why do you keep giving me health? I need keys. That's the boss room. I guess we're going back. I refuse to leave loot behind. That is the one thing I refuse to do. I've been put on this earth to hoard loot. Hell yeah, we got one key. We got one key. We got one key. Now, if I was smart... Hate this game. If I was smart, I would save this key for a potential store, in which I could theoretically buy another key and... The game just gave me both. Thank you, game. What is that? Reusable card generator.
shot speed up.
Justice. I don't know what justice means. I guess we'll find out in the boss fight. Charged burst attack. Oh god, I need to always charge. Why is it that sometimes I get buffs that are just bad? I think I would much rather just fire like normal. Is this actually good? I mean, I guess on paper. I don't know if I like it. I mean, I guess it's not that bad. It doesn't take like too long to charge up. I guess. Alright, what is justice? Nothing. It just gives me items. Bro, I have to charge up the attack for so long. I don't think I'm ever gonna get used to this. Oh, and also when I rotate the joystick, it automatically cancels the charge. Oh no, never mind. It doesn't work. I don't like this. I really don't like this. Ow. I literally just stood in that. Speed and... What the hell happened to me? What is this game about? Good question. You're just goofing around. You're a funny little guy. Funny little guy stuck in a basement. I hate this charge attack nonsense so much, bro. It's so slow. I don't like this. I really don't like this. Half the time I don't even get to fire because I can't even speak anymore. So mad I lost the ability to speak. I became my anime list reviewer. Got so mad, lost my ability to speak. I don't know what that is. Holy White Death. Is it better to have reusable cards or Holy White Death? We'll find out, I guess. Wait, there might be secrets. Secrets? I only have one bomb. Let me see if I can find another bomb before I risk it, just in case. Just in case. We got more keys. Nice, we got another bomb. I can get to that loot box. Very nice. Ow. Yeah, I need to be careful about burst firing on these because they will immediately explode, right? Yes. Huh? Why didn't that create a path? Hate this stupid game. I'm only doing this 50% for a bit. I realized, I think when I play this game, I stopped blinking. I just blinked and my eyes hurt so bad. I think I don't blink while playing this game. Ow. Started blinking again, bro. My eyes burn. Oh, my eyes. Hate this game. Hate this stupid. I can get 1 coin. I can get 1 individual coin. Should I go? Not yet. Hate this game. I guess I can refill my health. Hate this game. Did I already find the boss room? No. It doesn't help that my shots are now the same color as the enemies. That does not help at all. I will say that. I'm not going there. Not going to the arcade either. Okay, let's see if there is... We will first see if there's a secret room here. There's no. I'm so shocked inside. There might be one down there, but I don't have enough bombs. Check some settings. Why would I look at settings? Are there secret things in the settings? Can I activate cheats? I would like to cheat in this video game. I should probably go and refill my health before the boss room, but I'm very lazy. I don't wanna do that. I can't be asked. Some quality of life. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it now. Options. What do we have? Tells filter. Oh, it makes everything smooth. I don't like that. Pop-ups, active cam, extra HUD. I mean, I can turn these things on, but I don't know what any of them mean. So that doesn't really help me. HUD offset. I don't really care about that. Found HUD. On. Charge bars on. Bullet visibility high. I mean, that's kind of nice. I kind of like that. My screen does look a little bit crowded, but you know what? I'll take it. It is what it is. Ow. Oh. You unlocked the catacombs. I do not know what the catacombs mean. Perhaps I can find out. That was a close one. I could easily run through there. I don't know why I don't. I'm stupid, that's why. Literally ran into a bullet. So dumb. Is this not the catacombs? I guess it's not. I guess I'll go fill up my health again. I could easily run through. I don't understand why I'm not. Should I go here? Maybe? Bonus loot? I think I'm just gonna end up dying here. I said that as a joke, but I think that's gonna be true. I just lost a full heart from bozos. Oh god, I hate these guys so much. Take that. Bro, what happened now? Something happened. I don't know what happened. Guys. Ow. Ow. I'm about to die. I'm actually about to. I'm on half a health. I think I have the devil protecting me. Which does seem like a pretty good buff, to be honest with you. That seems to work out very well. Based on my lore knowledge. No, I don't really need the battery, I guess. If I blow up that thing, he's gonna blow up the rock, and he's not gonna create a pathway, right? The only way I can get over there is by blowing it up from the top. Then I have to use like 1,000,000 bombs to get anywhere. Yeah, because there is no like chain reaction to start here. I'm not gonna do that. Why is there an item behind spikes? Brother, what? There might be a secret room here, though. Mysterious pills.
Luck up.
I mean, I guess. How long are you planning on Isaac streams until you get tired of it? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I'm playing it in the mornings. It's currently my morning game. I'll play for a little bit. And then eventually just get tired of it, you know? Same old, same old. One more run, then I go away. One more run, then I go away. I'm gonna go work. Working is more fun than this video game. I'd rather work than play a video game. That's how bad we're doing. That is actually how bad we are currently living, doing, call it whatever. It's not a good state of affairs. One more run. One more run. One more run. Gets tired is now. No. One more run. Or I'm gonna win. I'm gonna complete this game. And then I'm not gonna have to play it anymore. It's gonna be GG's. We are gaming. Don't eat me, please. I think I have to use more of my brain while playing this game than I do Dark Souls, and that's not even a joke. Like Dark Souls, I'm just playing with muscle memory basically. I'm just vibing half the time, not even thinking. With this game though, what just I'm actually blind. I was gonna ask what the hell hit me, then I noticed there's literally a dude like 2 millimeters away. I think I just thought that was me. Hate these guys, bro. And of course you give me the arena with like millions. I'll just try and do this. That literally didn't work at all. I did get a chest. I thought I could maybe line them up somehow when they popped up and then explode them, but that did not work at all. That was pure cope. I got some kind of death card. I assume that is like an instant kill for everything. I guess. Why does a heart show up somewhere? What? Huh? Why does a heart show up in this room? These games genuinely hate me. It was the same thing with Dark Souls, bro. It's literally showing me the wrong button. Showing me a heart. There is no heart. That did not insta-kill the boss. In fact, I think I wasted a very good card that might have helped me clear a room or something. Because it did not kill a boss. It did like 15% to a boss, in fact. I would go as far as to say that it was, in fact, wasted. What? Got him. What's this? Have a cube of meat. I don't know what it does. But it does something. I think it definitely does something. HP up. That I at least understand. Is there any point in blowing these up? Probably not. What is this? Why the hell does this... The map looks like it goes up. It looks like there's an arrow on the mini-map that goes up. I don't have any bombs. So I can't go up. I want to see what happens. What? Why would I possibly want to go up? We got a bomb. I'm seeing what this is. I need to know what this is. It needs more than... I've always wanted to play these games, never got around to it. I mean, oh, the Steam Summer Sale ended. It was on like a 90% discount. I got it for 5 buckaroos. I'd make that deal. That's a damn good deal. That's a damn good deal. I made that deal. It couldn't even give me a bomb. All I wanted was a bomb. Can't even give me that. What's this? This a fly in a jar. I mean, I guess. I don't know what it does. I don't know what these things do. I will press the button. Or both. That's it. Okay. I need bombs. All I want is just one individual bomb. Okay, so I am now collecting the flies. Every time I kill a fly, one fly is added to my collection. I guess I'm gonna find out what they do in the boss room once again. I'm not gonna waste it now. I don't know what just happened, but it died. I'm gonna go around exploring the entire level, just in case there is a bomb somewhere. Hope and hope. There actually might be a secret room there too. Oh, but there is no... There's nowhere else to explore. That's it. I want to know what the hell up means. Oh, this just spawns these things. That's good, I guess. Spawn one more. Can enter the spiky room. Do I want to burn that much health? I mean, I guess. Actually, I will. My curiosity over what lies going up is greater than losing health. I am evil now. Man, I love being evil. These things will give me a bomb. Watch this. Watch this. One of these will give me a bomb. Watch this. Hate this stupid game. I'm gonna take this thing. Big Brother is watching you. They always have been, bro. I already know this. What do you think? I don't know the government is watching me? Of course I know the Big Brother is watching. What do you think? I'm stupid? Let's go in the spiky room. I once again forgot to blink. I just did the funny closing my eyes. Bro, what? Isaac, you need to give me like a 15-second countdown for me to blink. Ow. Scary. I am very scary. I can go over, so I can go. Wait, wow, I'm gonna take more damage now? Wait, bro. I hate this stupid game. I mean, now I can hover over things, but I don't think there was anything I could hover over. Was there? I believe I am cooked. Oh! God, I hate this game. Ow, my eyes. I need to start blinking playing this goddamn game. Okay. I don't think there was anything else I missed. How you doing? Suffering. I am suffering. Should I donate all my monies? No. Let's go to the next level. I already killed the boss. I'm not gonna die now. I am currently in the process of suffering. It is unfortunate, but it is the fate that we find ourselves in. By all rules of being evil, these guys should also not be able to hit me because I'm flying above them. Yet I have a sneaking suspicion that that is not how, in fact, it works. And I fear that if I get hit... I'm not taking that. If I get hit, I will, in fact, still take damage. I am not American, no. I've never been in America. I don't know anything about America. Nothing about America. We got more pills. We got even more pills. Range down. Man, I love this game. Range up! Man, I love this game. Yes, these things can, in fact, hurt. I'm gonna stop experimenting. Secret rock? Bro, you're right. How the hell? How the hell am I supposed to find these things? I don't even got bombs. I can't even do it with the secret rock. Gluttony? I don't have keys either. All I have is money. And pills. Speed down. Please. Oh my god. It's just giving me money. I don't want more money. I do, actually. Just IRL, not in this nonsense. Also, I just realized whenever I'm in a level where there's like something off screen, I could literally just cheese the whole thing. Probably should have realized that earlier, but I am admittedly very stupid. So that tracks. It's not lore breaking. I have no keys, no bombs, just money. What the hell is going on? Except me taking unnecessary hits because I'm trying. What am I even looking at? Why am I just... That's it. Just had a Dark Souls situation. I don't know where the hell my eyes were looking, but they were not looking at the boss. Embarrassing performance. Embarrassing gaming performance. Embarrassing gaming performance.
That's rough, buddy.
The Avatar title belt? I don't know what that is. Avatar title belt, what is that? What was that? A firmware update is available for your Steam controller. Thank you, Valve. Very cool. I appreciate it. Do we have any breaking news? If not, I will be leaving you, and I'll be going to work on the videos. Look at your stream reacts. What is this? Let me open this up. What's this? Opera. What's this? Time for a store run? Well, have fun, have fun, have fun. What's this? What's this? What's this? Championship belt that will take home. What the hell's that? Huh? That's very loud. I don't think I can play that. This is for the fighting game? Looks so goofy. Is it 1-to-1 with like the Sokka belt? I assume it's 1-to-1, right? Yeah, pretty much. It's very goofy. I appreciate your optimism on One Piece live action. The world needs to see more of One Piece. I wouldn't really say I'm even optimistic. I would say I would dare to say I am just quite realistic about One Piece live action. I'm gonna be real with you. At this point, I don't think it's optimism. I think it's literally just looking at what it is. I think it's been very good. I think it has been very, very good. But yes, that's going to be it for today. Tomorrow we have a very, very big day. Tomorrow is One Piece, and after One Piece, there is a main channel video. The faded main channel video. A long dream. Two more episodes until it all ends. Two more episodes. Then next week things are gonna be weird because again, I'm waiting on bozos. And whenever the bozos show up to do the bozo activities, I'll have to do a bunch more work, and then you will see changes. There will be big changes. The glitch in the matrix may finally disappear. May finally vanish for good. It's funny that I cropped it wrong, and you can see my fingers. See, like right on the edge of the screen, you could literally see my fingers. It's very amusing. Not caught up with One Piece. Chop chop. Chop chop. We're getting close to something that you might want to be prepared for. Granted, this is Oda. We might not be getting close to anything. There's a very good chance we're not getting close to anything. But based on some things that are going on, I suspect there might be big events on the horizon. That's it. Thanks a lot for joining me. I'll be back on tomorrow at the usual One Piece time. And then we'll see what happens throughout the week. Main channel, everything else. It's coming soon, TM. That's it. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.